everyone, we're back at it again with our corny humor and our awesome creative grid rulers. So we know how much everyone loved our pineapple ruler, but the ruler we're about to wow you with this time is just as amazing, if not better.
It's quickly turning into one of my favorites. Okay, so Vanessa, this is the Hexagon trim tool, creative grids, of course, with the patent texture backing.
Yes.
One of the things I really like about this one is you can get 4 different hexagons sizes out of one ruler. Mm-hmm. The 2, the 4, the 6, and the 8. It also has the 1/4 inch seam allowance built into all of your measurements, which is really nice.
Really helpful for me.
Yes. So, like the others that we have done so far, it does come with its own little magic pack here. That is pictures, because you know I like the picture books. It also shows you 3 different hexagons that you can make.
Real nice.
I really like this because, like the pineapple, the variety of different fabrics that you can use, the possibilities are endless.
And variety is a spice of life. It's always been my life's motto.
She says it every day.
I do.
Okay, so when you first open up your magic pack, it is going to show you how to cut your hexagons, which I'll show you now. We are going to do the 2-inch finish hexagon. So you will have a strip of fabric that is 2.5 inches. That is going to be the same thing for any size. You'll do a 1/2 inch bigger for your 1/4 inch seam. So you have your 2.5 inch strip. Right here is the 2-inch hexagon. So we will line up the ruler, black lines here on the sides of our strip, and then we're going to cut the end off. So now you have a little point at the end, and you can either rotate your lovely cutting mat that you bought from us here at Prairie Quilt like this, or you can just flip your fabric around if you don't have one. Now your point is facing you, and you're going to line up your ruler again with what you just cut off right there on the hexagon, and cut the other side. And there you have your 2-inch hexagon, 2-inch finish hexagon. All right, so we are going to skip to the 4-inch centered hexagon here. Mm-hmm. When you open up your magic pack to your picture book here, it has all of your steps. Now you know I like when they do all of the figuring for me on the math. Mm-hmm. They have done that as well on this one. So you will cut 1 3/4 inch strips by width of fabric, and then we'll subcut them depending on which of the 3 rounds we are doing. Okay. So for the 4-inch center, we will start with round 2, and we will have our light fabric cut at 3 inches, subcut at 3 inches, and our dark fabric subcut at 5.5.
Okay.
Now to prepare, and I know you like preparation.
Yes, I do.
We will cut our 3rd round just to have it ready. So you'll cut your light at 4 and your dark at 7 inches.
Okay.
Okay? So you will start out and you will make your 4-inch hexagon, just like you did the 2, but with a 4.5 inch strip. And we will take the 3-inch light fabric that we subcut to, and we are sew it to 3 of the sides, as long as they're every other one. So it will look like this. Okay, press your seams to the outside. Mm-hmm. And then you will take your dark fabric, your 5.5 inch strip, and you are going to lay that strip in between like this, like sides together, and sew your seam all the way through to the end so that you have what sort of looks like this. Now, after that round, you're going to want to square it up before we continue. So you're going to take your ruler, and you'll go to the last hexagon you made, which is right here. The white round one is what we use to square it up all the time. Put in your seam line right here. Your dotted lines should go on the sides. And then you will cut off both sides.
Okay.
Okay, that's why it's really important to do your seam all the way through, because if you didn't and you cut it off, then you don't have your seam going all the way through. You will flip it around and continue cutting until everything is trimmed off and it's squared up. And then we will go to our last round on this one. And you will do your white again, your light fabric. And it's going to go in the same place the other light fabric went. So you'll flip it over, like sides together, center it up, do your 1/4 inch seam, and then press your seams to the outside in all 3 places.
Okay.
Okay, you with me?
Very nice.
Now, we did our dark fabric, so the next step would be our dark fabric again, but I decided to go with the fabric that we put in the center, just to change it up a bit. So I took a strip of the, yes, that variety. I took a strip of the same fabric and I used it for my dark, so you put it on here, center it up and do your seam and press it all out. And so then you have this. Yes.
Now I do have a question. You don't trim off the excess for the lights?
Not yet. Once you put that last strip on there, this is what it looks like, Vanessa. Now we're going to trim it all up so it's nice.
Okay.
We'll go to the last hexagon seam we made, which is right here. Again, the white hexagon in the middle. Line it up at the edge and go ahead and trim it off. Now this one, it's the last one, so you can trim all the way around. You can just keep rotating. You don't have to lift your ruler up. This is your beautiful hexagon that you made.
And it sure is pretty.
All the seams are pressed to the outside. It's lovely. Okay, so for the next one is a 6-inch center. And it looks like it kind of has a braid around it. So there's just one round. I'm going to show you how to do that one. Cut your 6-inch hexagon, like we did the 2 and the 4. Now it starts a little bit different than the other ones, because for your first one that you start, your light fabric up here, you will start your seam halfway through. You're going to leave this part unseamed. You go ahead and flip it over and press it out. You will take your dark piece of fabric and line it on top and stitch all the way through, like sides together, just like before. And you'll continue doing every other one until you get to the end. Now once you get to the last one, it should be your dark or opposite, whichever way you started. You will flip this piece up that you kept open and lay your dark fabric down, do your seam all the way to the end, of course your light will be here, press it out, and then move this one back over, and you can put it back in your machine and go ahead and finish your seam. So then you flop it back over, you're going to square it up just like we did with the first one. And then you have the braided design. The braid is so fun and easy to do that we found a cut loose press pattern that has the braid now, but if you'll see here, they have a 2-inch center instead of the 6. So they did 2 rounds of braids and they started opposite, so they blended into each other and made kind of like a spiral. They also fussy cut out a little bird for the middle. So this is a very good handy tool to fussy cut out any shapes or pictures that you want. Okay. Make sure when you are fussy cutting that you're staying inside of the dotted line, because that's your 1/4 inch seam and you don't want to miss out on anything. So with this pattern, we decided to go ahead and make the muggy ruggy, and we fussy cut out a little bunny rabbit.
Aww.
Easter is on its way, you know. I also fussy cut out the back so you could get a little of the tree and the hedgehog.
I'm loving the little woodland creatures. Do we have this fabric?
In a couple different colors, we do have it. It is new. I know. Okay, so there's the muggy ruggy, and we have the patterns in the store for that. The other thing that I need to mention about the ruler is it has holes right here on all the points at the 1/4 inch seam. So when you go to put your quilt top or your table runner together, you can mark those holes in your done hexagons, and you're sewing it, that will be your point where your needle can go in and you can rotate your fabric and get a nice fine point.
Also, I was noticing that you have the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 8.
Yes.
I was also noticing the line in the middle and the line here on the side.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Vanessa. Now, when you put a hexagon together with another hexagon, you can either do it this way or this way. But if you're doing a project and you need your sides to be straightened up, you're going to need pieces in between. So they already put lines on here for you with the 1/4 inch seam allowance so that you can make half a hexie if you're putting your hexagons together this way. And they also gave you the triangles to cut out if you put your hexagons together this way, so that any of your projects that you make can have a straight edge.
Okay.
And those are easily cut out with just a strip of fabric like we did the hexagons.
Very simple.
Yes.
Very easy.
The other thing that we have in the store is this little nesting organizer. It has these little fingers in here that you can put different things. You can put your needles when they're still in the packaging in here. You can put your pins in there. We like to put our rulers in here. It's very sturdy. We have the long ones in there. It doesn't fall down. You can put your presser in there. You can put your rotary cutter in there. It's a nice little thing to have. It's called Your Nest, and we have it in purple and teal.
Also, another thing that we wanted to talk to you about is our mystery bags. Inside the bags we have 5 different fabrics, all equaling up to 5 yards. We also have the cutting instructions and a little piece of paper giving detail over what the mystery quilt is about. On March 17th, we'll be sending out the first clues. These boxes are available in store and online, and if you like a little extra kick of that mystery, we could pick out the box for you.
Just specify if you want batik,
1800s,
floral,
or 1930s.
Speaking of the 17th, that is National Quilting Day, so make sure you come into our store so we have a special deal for you going on. And it's St. Patrick's Day, so make sure you have your green on.
Yeah. And just like last month, we'll be having a code word. This month's code word is Lucky Charms, and with the purchase of the ruler and the code word, you'll be getting a free gift.
It is really good this month.
Yeah, we spiced it up for you. Thanks, y'all. See you next
Bye.
month.